What's up, guys? I wasn't going to do a video about the motor swap, but I've come across some things that I should probably tell you about, so now we're here. Basically, with the parts truck, I cut all the wires and hoses and everything that I wasn't going to need, unbolted it and pulled it out. Not an issue. Now, with the truck that we're going to be driving, you have to unhook all the sensors, all the plugs, all the wires, all the hoses. Everything's got to be unhooked cleanly because you're going to reuse all that stuff. As you can see, I'm really dirty. Well, that wasn't the issue. The issue was actually getting the motor out, because this truck is a 5-speed. The truck we took the motor out of is an automatic. So, 5-speed has a splined nose shaft coming out of the front of it that goes through your clutch and rests in a pilot bearing in the back of your crank. The automatic doesn't have that. It's got a torque converter that's bolted to a flex plate. So that became an issue because you couldn't get the motor high enough to get it out of the motor mounts to get it forward off of the tail shaft, off of the nose shaft. Yeah, lots of fun. So taking it out was a pain. I had to unbolt the transmission and slide it back as far as I could, which really probably wasn't. Alright, so the video just stopped right in the middle of me talking. Anyways, I had to unbolt the EGR, had to undo the transmission and slide it back. I had a pry bar in there and pried it back and popped the motor up out of the mounts and got it out. But going back in with a new clutch, you can't just force things like that. You kind of got to get the motor down in there and then feed the nose shaft in through the clutch so everything lines up properly. So I had to unbolt the tranny mount over there and over there and slide the transmission back as far as I could possibly take it without unhooking anything. You gotta unhook the drive shaft, obviously. You can see it hanging down there above my head. Other than that, I didn't unhook anything. So all the hoses, all the wires, everything's still hooked to the transmission. I literally slid it back in the frame as far as I possibly could. It's kind of slung up there right now with ratchet straps because I got it up on the lift. I don't want the thing to just fall out of there and rip everything out. So, not fun. And the nose shaft is still like right there, as far back as I am, and I'm probably 5 inches back from the original location in the I don't know if you can see it there, but right there it's slid back in the frame about 4 to 5 inches, and still it was still really tight going down in there. Now, taking it out, putting it in, I did nothing but sit here and badmouth GM engineers. And then I realized something. This motor wasn't designed for this truck. It was designed for a front-wheel drive car, Cavalier the Sunfire. And I didn't register until well after I had the motor out of the truck, and I was still cussing and swearing and all mad. And the starter, the thermostat, everything is on the driver's side of the motor, and you can't get to it unless you take the driver's side inner fender out. And I was like, why would they do that? That is the stupidest design ever. Well, in a front-wheel drive car, it would be turned perpendicular in the chassis, and all that stuff would be on the front. Makes more sense. So, they put it in the truck, obviously, but everything kind of is really tough to get to and work on. I really need to buy a new phone. It just cut off on me again, for the second time. I don't know what's going on with it, but anyways, it's a pain in the butt to put in. So, it's in there now. I'm going to have to manhandle this transmission up and slide it in, get it all in there, try to hook the tranny mount and everything back up. It's going to be a total pain in the butt. But. Well, I got to get it back in there, get everything hooked up, fabricate exhaust, and when I come back, it'll be on the ground running and moving under its own power, I hope. Talk to you later. So, as you can see, the rally truck's painted. It's not the best paint job in the world by any means. I was in a big hurry to try to make Rallycross last Saturday. And then I totally miscalculated time on Saturday morning and wasn't going to make it there for registration. Good job on my part. That's what I get for rushing and being in a hurry. And it didn't matter anyway, because after I swapped the motor out, somehow, not sure how I missed it, the motor that I put in, the new motor, must have a bad head gasket or something. because it is just steaming out the fucking back. I'm beside myself. Like, I'm so angry right now, I just want to throw a match in it and light it on fire. Because I put a head gasket on the other motor, that didn't fix it because obviously the head was cracked or something. Put a new motor in this one, and originally I thought the smoking was just oil in the cylinders from me having the motor upside down, putting a new pan on it and stuff. But because I thought it cleared for a little bit, I thought I was done, I thought it was good, and then I started it today to bring it in the garage, and it's just steaming like crazy. This thing is nothing but a pain in my ass. I'm going to be honest with you, it's been nothing but a pain in my ass. Mechanically, I mean, doing the fenders, wide body, doing the fun stuff, yeah, that's been great. I don't mind that stuff at all, but working in the engine compartment of this thing is annoying, and I'm really sick of working on it, but at this point, I'm going to have to fix it. So I'm probably going to have to do another head gasket on this one, and then have the head checked for cracks and whatnot, and it's going to be a whole debacle that I don't really want to deal with, but I got to put a motor in it that works at some point. So I wasted money on a parts truck that apparently had a bad motor in it, even though I let it run the day I bought it in the driveway at the guy's house. It sat there and ran for 15-20 minutes, should have been well up to temperature. Definitely should have showed me that it had a bad head gasket in the driveway, or maybe it was right at the beginning and then me, you know, putting it in, starting it up, and, you know, revving it up a few times and messing with it made it worse. I don't know, but as you can tell, I'm extremely irritated right now. Extremely irritated. So, you step out of the way so you can actually see this thing. As you can see, it's got the old Nelson and Nelson Racing Stadium truck livery on it, which is this looks alright. I gotta do a little work on that lightning bolt back there. It's not quite right, but on the one on the other side, orange peeled or wrinkled like horribly, so I'm gonna have to sand that down and fix it too. But we're getting there. I was gonna put the Rayleigh style roof vent in today. That's what I was gonna work on. This thing here goes up here. Cut a hole in the roof, drop that in so that you get air while you're racing, because you can't have your windows down. It's one of the rules. So I was gonna do that today, but now I'm so mad I don't know if I'm even gonna touch this thing. But here, I'll start it up so you can see the smoke. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know how you'd be able to miss it, but yeah, it's like a rock show in here. That's annoying. I'm not happy. Yet again, I'm gonna have to open the hood of this thing and climb in there and take it all apart again. I spent more money on the parts truck than I did on the original truck. This whole budget build thing is not working out in my favor at all. If you follow me and you watched a lot of my videos, apparently heads don't like me. Had all that problem with the Monte Carlo, now I got this thing, I have problems with this thing. Never in my life have I had this much trouble, ever. And I've built motors before and never had problems, but here I am on YouTube with you guys, and it's like everything I touch that has to do with a head on a motor is fail city. Like I don't know. Maybe I got too much stuff going on and I'm just not on my game or something. Someday, when it's actually done, it'll be cool. Right now, it's kind of just a pain in my butt. Well, if I get a little, I don't know, surprise energy, maybe I'll work on that roof scoop. I'm so irritated right now. And it's just pouring outside. You can probably see that back there. And it's pouring into the bed of the truck and then running into the garage and dripping out the bottom of the bed onto my floor.